Hi there, I'm Alison Pelly, and I'm the manager of the Northwest Business Centre. I'm located in Kenora, Ontario on beautiful Lake of the Woods, and it's my job to help entrepreneurs of all ages with different resources and things to help them move forward with their business ideas. I'm thrilled to be here today as part of the Enterprise Olympics program to talk to you about customer service and sales. I'm going to give you some examples and some useful tips and tricks that you can use as part of your business pitch for this year's Enterprise Olympics program. Okay, so I first want to give you a little bit of an idea about what I'm going to talk to you about. So we're going to go over the agenda. I'm going to give you some information about the small business enterprise centers that you can gather different information from wherever you're located across the province of Ontario. I'm going to talk to you about the summer company program, customer service, sales, and then we're going to tie it all together by getting you thinking a little bit about what we've chatted about. So who we are. So there's over 50 of us across the province, small business enterprise centers that are funded through the Government of Ontario. You can find us all by just typing that in the Google, reaching out, and we're happy to connect with you about any business questions you might have. You can also check out the Small Business Centers of Ontario website for different resources, videos, and links to help you get started too. I've listed the northern aspects in the slideshow here. And I manage the Northwest Business Centre, which services the Kenora and Rainy River District. Right now, I'm working from home, so working with folks over the phone and virtually. So our services at the Small Business Enterprise Centers is to provide businesses with business tools and resources. We help out a lot with business startup and expansion requests, so helping people through the steps that they need to start their business successfully. And we also deliver a couple programs on behalf of the Government of Ontario. We work with entrepreneurs who are youth, and we also help people look at different funding, grants, and different resources that they might be able to take advantage of. We also do a lot of workshops, and right now it's so great because we can do them across the whole province by doing them virtually. I just want to let you know about a really good opportunity called Summer Company. This is something that students aged 15 to 29 can access, where you're going to get some business training, you'll be matched with a mentor, and you also get to operate your own summer company over the course of the summer. So if you're a student, 15 to 29, who's finishing school in the spring and going back in the fall, this might be a program that you want to check out. I encourage you to just Google Summer Company, check out the requirements, and then you'll be matched with your local small business enterprise center to find out next steps. Also, I forgot to mention, you will, if you do get this program, get an award of up to $1,500 to start your business. And if you complete the program, you get an additional award of $1,500 at the end of the summer that you can do whatever you want with. So it's a really great business, really good opportunity for your business. I also encourage you to check out the Northwest Business Center's Facebook page, where we have some really good videos and profiles on our past summer company students. Okay. Let's get down to business here and talk about customer service. So the definition of customer service. Customer service is the support you offer your customers, both before and after they buy and use your products or services, that helps them have an easy and enjoyable experience with you. So that's the definition. Pretty straightforward, but to really put it into action, I think we really need to think about a time when you experienced some great customer service. This quote by Maya Angelou, who's an American poet and a civil rights activist, I think in this quote actually kind of really describes what good customer service is. She said, "They may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel." This quote is also a very deep one, but in the sense of customer service, I really think it's a lot about how you make somebody feel. So what I really want you to do is take some time right now as I'm talking and think about when you experienced exceptional customer service. Think about how you felt, what they said to you, maybe how you purchased and how you bought that item, and how you can convert that into what your business idea might be for this program. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so this is a local company in in Kenora. It's a small business called Posh and Pixie. It's a hair salon, but the owner also has a boutique. She has an Instagram page and Facebook and different avenues. I personally like to look at Instagram stories. I find those something to do in my free time. It's a great way to find out about new products in stores or new ideas or services that businesses have. So I follow a number of small businesses located in the Kenora and Rainy River District. So Posh and Pixie, Kaylee is the owner, and she actually had a video where she was using this blow dry brush, and I actually have it here because this is what my story follows. But she was posting about it. I had some questions. I needed a new blow dryer. I needed something new. So I watched this video. I DM'd her some questions, and she was really quick to respond. And it made me really happy and interested in the product. I also told her that I don't like to spend a ton of time on my hair, and she was encouraging for me to buy it. So I pre-ordered it, purchased it. This was at a time when it was curbside pickup. So I went and picked it up, and it was really great. It was a smooth customer service experience. I got an email when my product was ready to pick up. She was there to answer questions and was encouraging. And one of the greatest things that she did was she actually afterwards gave me, followed up with me to see how much I liked the product and if I would recommend it to others. And I told her I would 100%. So this product, cost me just over $100. But because I loved it so much, I've actually told so many of my friends and family, and they've all been super keen. So my mom actually even went out and purchased one of them, which is kind of neat. So part of the way that I felt when I purchased this is that my purchase made an impact for the small business. It also made me feel good because it made me feel like I could actually be in control and do my hair. And I felt educated enough by the sales pitch that Kaylee gave that I was able to use the item. So just something to consider about. I mean, I could have went and bought this on Amazon or something else, but I really wanted to support the small business and felt the connection with Kaylee as she was selling me the item. I just want to give you some stats about the importance of customer service. So happy customers will share their positive experience with about 11 people. 73% of customers will fall in love with a brand and remain loyal because of friendly customer service people. Customers are willing to spend 17% more on a company that has outstanding customer service. And 77 customers would recommend a brand to a friend after having a single positive experience. So I just want you to think about those really good customer service experiences that you had and how many people you told or how often you went back and were a repeat customer with those businesses too. And that can be a storefront, it can be an online purchase, it can be, maybe even where you choose to grocery shop or get a coffee or tea. So just things to keep in mind as you're thinking about your current business. Okay, now to flip this, I want you to think about a time when you had bad customer service and how that made you feel. And this this quote from Vince Lombardi, it takes months to find a customer and seconds to lose one, is a really good quote. And it kind of relates to some of the stats that I want to share with you now as you're thinking about that time where you had that bad customer service. So angry customers will share their negative experience with about 15 people. That's versus, we tell more people when we're angry about customer service than when we're happy about it. The number one customers switch to a new brand is because they feel underappreciated. And it takes 12 positive customer service experiences to make up for one negative experience. So think about how hard you have to work if you don't have those positive customer service experiences that you're giving customers. And another stat is 78% of customers have backed out of a purchase due to a poor customer service experience as well. Okay, so I hope you're thinking about that time where you experienced bad customer service. I'm going to give you an example of one of mine. Prior to COVID, I used to travel a lot around the Kenora and Rainy River districts for my job, and I meet with clients at all different places, coffee shops, libraries, sometimes in their home, in their businesses, sometimes in municipal offices. And one time I was in a particular community and I was meeting a client for what this person was going to have lunch, and I was just going to have a coffee because I was going to have lunch later and take a little bit of a break. So anyway, we sit down. It's a nicer restaurant. They have tablecloths. I just ordered a coffee, and this person then decided that they just wanted a coffee too. Well, anyway, the business owner came over and gave us a lecture that we were wasting table space, even though the place was empty, and just ordering a coffee. Well, I'll tell you what, I never went back there. And I did tell quite a few of my friends that what this happened and how it made me feel. It made me feel kind of worthless. And I had been a customer, had many meals at this place before too. But then to be told I was wasting space didn't really make me feel very well about it. So think about those bad experiences with customer service as you're thinking about your business, and really think about how you can make people feel good about purchasing from you. And it's really just all about that human interaction that you're going to have with someone. Okay, enough with the bad. So what measures can you take to ensure that that bad customer service experience doesn't happen in your business? You can reduce some of the rules you have. So maybe it's reducing a return policy so that people do have 30 days to return something. You can greet customers with a smile, whether that be through, if you're talking to them on the phone, you can tell if someone's smiling if they're talking on the phone. You can be patient with them, you can be polite and use manners. You can listen to them with an open mind and have a good dialogue of communication. And from that, again, going back to breaking some of those rules you might have, you can also make routine transactions memorable. That can even be done with online businesses. So let's say you have an online Etsy shop and you're selling some craftware that you make. If you maybe, wrap the item up with tissue and put a sticker on it, that can really help with those routine transactions, making them more memorable. Someone will always remember how they unpackaged something that you are putting together for them. You can even think of thank you cards, thank you postcards. Another great thing is training procedures. So if you do have any staff working for you, that making sure that they're delivering the same level of customer service that you want to deliver to. Another simple thing is if you have a retail store or maybe a mechanic shop or a restaurant, is you can have a bell when someone walks in, so they'll be greeted with a friendly smile and face. And the customer doesn't always have to be right. But a way to think about this is that the customer should always win. So you almost want to feel like both of you are leaving the situation in a good way. So it's important to have, again, that open communication, be patient, listen, and use manners that you have. Okay. Here's some other tips that you can take. So develop your customer service skills. So that's using empathy, patience, and consistency, clear communication, and be knowledgeable of your product. So go back to that instance about the Posh and Pixie example. Kaylee was knowledgeable about the product and she was able to tell me how it's going to work on my hair. She was clear with her messaging. She first started off with the video, so a lot of my questions were already answered through her social media avenue. And when I asked her questions, she was patient and she responded to me and really did a great job of explaining to me what the product was going to be. Another thing that you can do is to develop a customer service strategy. So get personable, be available, and create communities. So no one wants to do business with a workshop. People, consumers, if you're working like business to business, or if you're selling to like an individual, people really want that personal relationship. And right now, especially during COVID, people are craving that personal relationship. So if you can be yourself and relate to customers that way, it will give you such a competitive edge in the industry. Those types of personal relationships differentiate between someone going to Amazon and purchasing, a sweatshirt, or someone going to a local boutique or store and purchasing a sweatshirt. It's those personal relationships that really help build customer service in the communities. Another thing too is work on customer relations. So develop common ground with customers. So if you can think of a story that relates to them, that's a really good way that you can create that conversation and have fun with it. I'm going to use an example later on about the time that I purchased a furnace for my house. And I'm going to talk about the common ground that I developed with this person and how I then went with them for the sales. And again, we're all humans. So if you make a mistake, just admit it, own up to it. The really big theme in all of this with customer service is that people want to do business with people. So be human, have your personality, but just make sure that it comes across in a polite and meaningful way and the most appealing to who your customer is going to be. Okay, that summarizes most of the customer service piece. I want to talk to you a little bit more about sales. So sales is the process that you use to influence the customer to actually buy from you. And I've summarized the sales process here, which we're going to go through. So the first one is prospecting. So figuring out who you need to sell to. The next is connecting. How are you going to connect to that person? What type of language are you going to use? How do you best reach them? Do you reach them through social media? Do you do you connect to them by calling them, emailing them, knocking on their doors? How are you best going to make that connection with them? Then you need to think about how you're going to present your product or service to them by doing your sales pitch. And you're going to learn about that in a different module as well. The next is the negotiation. And that could be simply that, you have a price tag on an item and that's the price that they're going to pay. But that's almost like a silent negotiation, is that they're seeing what you're selling, they're seeing the value that you're charging for them, and then they're going to move forward with the sale. You also need to finalize the sale. So that could be as simple as someone coming up to the cash register and purchasing, or doing an online checkout online, or they could be agreeing to some sort of service in your home, like I mentioned, the furnace piece. The other piece is the follow-up. So even think back to the customer service, and you can see how the sales piece really follows the customer service process. So I mentioned about the Posh and Pixie one with the hair brush, the dry brush, how Kaylee did a follow-up. She asked me how it was going. I told her how great and how much I liked the product. And then I also told her that I had referred like a few friends and hoped that they would be purchasing from her too. And like I said, my mom ended up buying one as well. So that's the sales process. Now, let's tie this together and get thinking a little bit more about that. I want you to start by thinking of a memorable experience when someone sold something to you. What stood out to you? And how did you feel after the purchase? You really, again, want to think about how you felt and what stood out to you and how you can almost duplicate that for your own type of sales when you're doing that for your business or business idea. I'm going to give you an example. I mentioned this a little bit earlier about when I purchased my furnace. So I purchased a house a year ago and needed to put a new furnace in. It's an expensive item in your house. About $4,000 to do a furnace, maybe more on some houses as well. So what I did was I reached out to a couple local people that I knew that did furnace installs. I had a couple quotes done, and everyone was very professional, and I was impressed with many of them. But the person that I chose was the one who was easiest to communicate with. So I was able to text him some questions. When he came to my house too, he was actually really friendly with my dog, and I have a little miniature wiener dog. And I really liked that because I liked that I just felt like I could trust him being in my house, doing something like this, and also installing something that had such a big price tag on it. So when I was going through this process, again, I felt like I trusted him, the feeling that I had. I also felt safe because I do live alone, and I felt safe that they were going to do a good job about making sure that the furnace was installed properly, so that, I'd have no problems in the winter. And then I also liked the interaction that we had about our dog. And it turns out his business name was actually named after his dog as well. So really a great way to kind of sell the item to me, whether he even knew it or not. So that's kind of my example of a memorable kind of sales pitch, especially with something that's such high value. And there's also so many opportunities of where I could have actually went and bought the furnace from. The next thing I want you to think about is who will your first 5 customers be, and how are you going to sell to them? This also includes thinking about what kind of customer service this person's going to expect from you. So this is a great way to think about your target market and how you're going to appeal to them, and what kind of sales process and sales pitch that's going to be most beneficial when you're talking to them. The next piece in the sales is developing a sales pitch. And that's really answering the who, what, why, and how, and writing those out. So who are you going to sell to? Let's just say you're a landscaping business and your clients include residents living in a specific community. You would describe why you started the company. We started the company because we love to be outside and making people's yards shine. The what. So we help our clients maintain their properties, and our services include cutting grass, weed whacking, and weeding gardens. The why. We are different from our competitors because we live in the neighborhood and work in a team of 3, so we can complete the work faster. And the how. The how is really describing how you're going to get this all done. So a sales pitch can be just that simple, and that's part of the sales process. So today, I've talked to you about customer service and about sales. I hope I've given you some really good examples to help you move forward with your business ideas. Whether you're selling something or providing a service for someone, it's really important that you do deliver good customer service and have a sales process in place. This is also going to help with your business pitch for the Enterprise Olympics program. Okay, I want to thank you for your time. I do encourage you to reach out wherever you're located. You can always reach out to me at the Northwest Business Center, and I'm happy to refer you to the other small business enterprise center that might be there in your area. I also want you to consider the summer company program. It could be a really great option for you to move your business forward. And I wish you the best in your Enterprise Olympics submission. And thank you again. So have a great day, everyone. Thanks for checking out the Customer Service and Sales Tech Talk today. Thanks.